standing in Tadasana or mountain pose. So this pose is about strength, stillness and security. So the feet are the base of the mountain, feeling all four corners of the feet rooted into the ground. They're slightly apart, almost together even. The arms are beside the body. The spine is in a straight line with the chin slightly tucked. So feeling lifting through the spinal column, lifting up through the crown of the head. Breathing in, lifting the hands above the head. Taking hold of the right wrist with the left hand. And as you breathe out, just bending from the waist over to the left. Stretching down through the lats. The hips are over the ankles. And breathing in, coming back to center. Swapping the hands over now. And breathing out, bending over to the right. Again, getting that nice stretch down the other side of the body. And breathing in, coming back to center. Breathing out, arms beside the body. Week 1, pose 2, Uttanasana. So breathing in, lifting the arms up over the head. And breathing out, bringing the arms down to the ground in front of the body. And just letting gravity do the work in this stretch. Head is hanging loose, arms are hanging loose. This is working up the backs of the legs into the hamstrings and down the back. Week 1, pose 3, downward dog. Breathing in, lifting the arms up over the head. And breathing out, bending forward into Uttanasana or forward bend. Bringing the hands to the floor and stepping the right leg back and then the left leg back. Coming into downward dog. So in this posture, the fingers are spanned, supporting the wrists. The chest is pushing back towards the thighs. The knees can be slightly bent to support a greater range of movement through the back. The idea being a straight line from the wrists to the hips if you can. So breathing in, lifting and lengthening, lifting the sit bones and pushing the chest back towards the thighs. The feet can come a little bit further apart so that they're in the same line as the hands, the same distance apart as the hands. This pose is about lengthening and strengthening. Turning to the side of your mat and bringing your feet about 5 hand spans apart. Just a little bit further. Turning the left foot out and making sure that the left heel is in line with the arch of the right foot. Turning the body to face the left. And breathing in, lifting the arms up in line with the ears over the head. And as you exhale, coming down into a lunge, making sure that that front knee is in line with the ankle. So you may need to just widen the legs to get that alignment. The front of the body is facing towards the front leg. The arms are in line with the ears. And this posture is about strength and wellness. So feeling the strength through the legs, the weight distributed evenly between the back leg and the front leg. And just tilting the pelvis in slightly to get a more straight line through the body. Steve's quite tight through his shoulders, so this is a good posture for him. But you can see there's a little bit of pulling there, that's fine. Using the breath to relax a little deeper into the pose. Then breathing in, lifting up through the fingertips and breathing out, bringing the arms down in line with the body into Warrior 2. Looking out over the front arm, maintaining that strength through the lunge. And then breathing in, and as you exhale, dropping the right arm to the back leg and lifting the left arm, turning the palm to face you, looking up over the fingertips for Exalted Warrior. Then breathing in, coming back into Warrior 2. And then turning the body to face the front foot, the left foot, hands on the hips. Breathing in and coming onto the left foot, all the weight onto the left foot, and lifting the right leg out behind you. And this is a balancing pose, also about strength. Now, either staying in this position, or if you can, bringing the arms out in front of you in line with the ears for Warrior 3. And breathing in, coming back into the lunge, hands on the hips. So the next pose is a triangle twist. Bringing the hands onto the hips, the feet are 5 handstands apart. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, folding forward onto a flat back. And then breathing in, bringing the hands down onto the floor or as close as you can. May need to bend the knees to get the palms down onto the floor if you've got a bit of rounding through the back like Steve does. Then breathing in, lifting the right arm up, straight up in the air, looking up to the right arm if you don't have a neck issue. This is getting a nice twist through the back. It's also working into the hips and the backs of the legs. And just holding here for about 3 breaths. And after your next exhalation, breathing in, bringing that hand down to the mat and breathing out. And then breathing in, lifting the left hand, so twisting on the other side this time, opening up through the chest, working into the back and again down the backs of the legs. Breathing normally in this pose. And after your next exhalation, breathing in, bringing the hand down to the mat. And then to come out of that pose, coming back onto a flat back with your hands on your hips. And then breathing in, lifting up. This next posture or set of postures is for hamstrings and hips. So breathing in, bringing both knees to the chest one at a time and just hugging the knees to the body, just stretching through the lower back. And breathing out, bringing the feet to the floor, about hip distance apart with a nice bend in the knees. Then breathing in, lifting the right leg straight up in the air, dorsiflexing the foot so the toes are pointed back towards the head. And exhaling. Now breathing in, we're lifting and lengthening through the heel. And as we exhale, drawing the foot a little closer to the body, or the leg a little closer to the body. Breathing in, lifting and lengthening. And taking your hands onto the thigh, either at the front or the back, so both hands around the thigh. And drawing the leg to the body with each exhalation, remembering not to force into the posture, letting the breath do the work for you. You can hold this posture for as long as you like with the breath. And after your next exhalation, your last exhalation, breathing in, bringing that right ankle to the top of the left knee, so just folding that leg over. And as you exhale, just letting that right knee push out to the side. And then breathing in, bringing the hand in between the space, and with both hands holding onto that left knee. Now Steve's got a little bit of flexion through his spine and neck here, so what he should do is bring his hands underneath his knee, holding onto his thigh, and just concentrate on reducing that bend in his neck. You'll still get the same stretch through his hip, but it's a much better position for his back and his neck. And again, we're using the exhalation to draw that leg towards the body and to relax into the pose. And then breathing in, bringing the left foot to the floor, the right foot to the floor, arms beside the body and resting before we start on the other side. Next posture is a seated spinal twist. So bringing the left foot into the right thigh, the knee out to the side. And then stepping the right foot over the left thigh. So that foot will tuck in underneath your hip and the right foot is over the top. If that's too much of a stretch for you and you feel that the hip is lifting off the floor, this leg, the left leg, can come out to the front. And we'll demonstrate in this posture. So breathing in, bringing the left arm around the right thigh. and holding. And breathing in, lifting up straight through the spine, bringing the right hand out in front of you, fingertips pointing forward. Breathing in and lifting again, straightening through the spine, and as you breathe out, turning around to the right, bringing the right hand behind the right hip, twisting through the spine and looking over the right shoulder or as far as you can. Using the breath again to release further into the twist. We're activating the muscles along the back and the spine, working into the nerves, the important nerves that emanate from the spinal column. So you can bring your attention to visualizing right from the base of the spine in the coccygeal area or right up through to the top of the spine where it meets the skull behind the eyebrow center. And then after your last exhalation, breathing in, bringing the body back to the front, the arms beside the body, and exhaling before we do that on the other side. The final pose for week 1, Shashankasan and Balasana. It's really important to rest in yoga. It gives the body a chance to recuperate. So these postures are just as important as any of the postures that we're using to lengthen or strengthen the body. So breathing in, just pushing back onto the heels. The knees are apart, the big toes are almost together, and bringing the head down onto the mat. In this posture, we're still stretching through the shoulders and the back, but it's also giving the body a chance to rest. The brain is below the heart, so it allows blood flow to come into the brain, nourishing all the cells in the brain. And it also allows the chance for the heart to rest. The other resting posture that we take in yoga is Balasana or child's pose. So bringing the knees together for this one. And then resting the head on the mat, the arms are alongside the thighs, the hands near the feet. This is a very calming pose. It's good for lowering anxiety. And again, lets the heart rate slow down after some of the more energetic postures. Namaste, HF yogis.
Asana.
Cut before that.